understand that. Is it just to families, households that are agriculturally inclined or professional farmers, or every household? Is it a statistical figure you gave me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
No, what I'm about telling you is that, of course, beyond the fact that Anambra is a commerce and trade-driven, society, agriculture is also part of the fulcrum of that society, which over the years, has been a bit neglected. But of course, we know that it's the game changer. You never go wrong with agriculture. No matter what you do, man must feed. No matter what you do, some of these, constituents of this, because these are cash crops, both agriculture, both coconut and the palm. So, and it's something that can actually transform the life of the family. If you go to the market today and ask for the price of a kg of palm oil, as a matter of fact, you ask yourself, would we have Malaysia, for an example, where palm transformed everything that has to do with the economy? So, if a country could have recorded such a humongous success story with regards to, investments in agriculture, imagine what happened to a subnational like Anambra. So this is exactly what, and these are some of the, will I say, human capital development aid aspects of what Soludo is doing. I've not even mentioned to you what a program called 1U 2 Skills. The 1U 2 Skills is, we believe that, in Anambra, you must have something to exchange, money for. And that must be, domiciled in the intrinsic value that you can give as a human being. Nobody can give what they don't have. So the governor, in his wisdom, decided to say, okay, at least every Anambra youth should have at least 2 skills. If you come to our society today, there's this dearth of artisans. We have a situation where people travel to as far as Cotonou, Togo, to get people to do certain,
I was going to come to jobs, this in relation to what you said earlier about Governor Soludo's attack on that particular aspect of life, where the youth in Anambra, everybody knows the prowess of Anambra in terms of business. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised at all if anybody told me that there are more billionaires. Of course, that's the truth. There are more billionaires in Anambra than in any other state. No, that's the fact. Per square meter, you get to find them. So it's like the value that has been placed on education. I think material success, financial wealth has been prized above education. But Soludo himself, being an academic, he's a professor, he probably sees it differently. So hold that, hold that skill. It seems like the Anambrarian and business, they were born together. He has to find a way to make it work, but you're not saying 1U 2 skills. So I wouldn't be surprised if quite a number of them said, okay, the intrinsic part of it, it's like people joke, they say that the Ijebu man that is reading economics is just doing research.
He's a born economist. For us, with regards to the 1U 2 skills thing, we believe that, if you look at the figures, before I think the last survey, done by the MBS, Anambra had one of the least, in terms of unemployment rate in the country. And if you don't continue to emphasize that, which, puts it in that pride of place, over time you begin to experience, some biting or spiral unemployment. So what Soludo is doing, by the 1U 2 skill, is to ensure that we have more productive youths. As a matter of fact, it's part of his non-kinetic approach to solving the rising criminality, in the region. You get it? Because young people must have something to depend on, something to fall back on. And these things are not just about vocational skills, because these skills, it cuts across a myriad of areas, from carpentry to plumbing to mechanic, building and all
engineering.
But engineering and all. But apart from that, there is also the tech aspect of these skills, because the government has come up with what he calls the Solution Innovation District. Now, this district is, if you like, our own Silicon Valley, and it speaks to the S of the ADTS component of his development agenda. Remember, he's renowned for talking about Africa, Dubai, Taiwan, the S and the Silicon Valley. So if you look at that metaphor of the Africa, Dubai, Taiwan, if you permit me to explain a bit of it, maybe I could just now. If you look at the Dubai component of it, Dubai is more or less like the leisure and commerce, logistics hub of the world. So that is exactly where he envisions Anambra to be in terms of trade and commercial aspect. We are looking to transitioning into the commercial and maybe leisure hub of, Africa. More or less like our own Dubai here.
Is it that people sort of misunderstood the metaphor? Because I have seen attacks along the lines of, where is Anambra, Dubai?
Taiwan.
Where is it? Anambra, Dubai, Taiwan.
The question
where
is
it?
It's actually born out of mischief, and I'll tell you why. Most people, how do I put it? There's this proverb, or will I say a story, a folklore, that has to do with the tortoise that has been in a ditch for many years. And the day the villagers came together to bring it out of the ditch, they passed in the rope into the pit and say, okay, hold it, come and say, people should be faster. This house is smelling too much. No, people don't understand that Rome was not built in a day. The Dubai we're talking about today, if you look at Dubai as of 1978, maybe 40 years ago, he may not be, So those you see say that are people who are just trying to be, in quote, to be fair to them, mischievous. Because the foundational works of that African Dubai, Taiwan, is what we are seeing today in Anambra. And that is the reason why people are saying, no, this man, people who have seen, majority of Anambra have seen it, and they say, no, this man is going somewhere, and he deserves a second term, at least to continue what he's doing. Okay. Talk about the Taiwan. Taiwan is, there's a popular book written, by one Taiwanese leader who talk about, keep your oil and give us the people. So Anambra's biggest resource is human capital. So, and that is exactly why he's making a lot of changes in terms of education, in terms of skills development, in terms of tech and all that, to ensure that Anambra, like I said earlier, has a human capital that is productive at home and exportable abroad. And this is why you're seeing all these reforms in terms of human capital increase in the school system. The health sector is also having its own fair share of, how do I put it, boost and investment. Because of course, in Anambra today, people take for granted that the government begins to take care of you from cradle, from the womb. Because in Anambra today, we have totally free antenatal and free delivery for all pregnant women. All pregnant women, yes, in Anambra today. Totally free antenatal, free delivery for every pregnant woman. So the government is interested in the child, even in the womb. So the child comes out and the child is going to school for free. So it tells you the volume of investment that we are making in terms of our human capital development. Then you talk about the Silicon Valley. That is like the tech headquarters of the world. And that's exactly what we're doing with the SID, the Solution Innovation District.
Say that again.
Solution Innovation District.
Okay.
Yes. So now, since its birth, it has trained over 30,000 young people in various tech skills. There are success stories to that. Okay. Even in the 1U2 skills, there are massive success stories, and I'm sure that your station was there on the day. In fact, the first batch of 5,000 young 5,000 young people who have been trained through the 1U2 skills, about 1,000 of them came out to freely train at no cost on government another 1,000.
Okay.
This is minus the fact that there's another number, 8,700 young persons who will be graduating very soon. In fact, they are finished because the process of the 1U2 skill is you choose a skill, 2 skills that you want. You go through depending on the kind of the skill you want. By the minimum of 6 months, you're taken through rigorous trainings by experts in the area. After which you go for another 2 weeks.
Are these local experts? That is indigenous. Are they indigenous?
There are indigenous. There are, of course, there are indigenous experts, and there are those that are also sourced from outside of the region.
Okay.
Because of course, nobody cares where you come from. People care the value you're giving to give, and the person who's learning the skills is interested in where you come from.
What you've been talking